Well, we got a real serious subject before us here tonight, this morning. And I think both sides want to be careful how they speak to this subject. Because what we have before us here is a bill for an act relating to children. Right? Yes, that's the first line there. A bill for an act relating to children, not adults, children. Because I think we all agree that what an adult does with their body is their business. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a bill for an act relating to children, not adults. And I don't think there's a single person in this room that hates children. I don't think there's a single person in this room who hates children. I think every person in this room, on this floor, has a heart to love children. But we definitely have opposing viewpoints, don't we? A representative even said that they were happy with this bill tonight. And mentioned that it's absolutely critical that we do this. It's life-saving. We also heard that they would do anything for their child because they love their child. Love protects. I agree with all of that. I'd take a bullet for my child. Love does protect. And we are opening a door here, folks, members, that is very much potentially dangerous for children. We could be opening the door tonight with this bill that could do irreversible damage to children. What are you talking about, Representative Davis? I'll give you an example here. There's an activist. I'm going to bring up her name. Her name is Chloe Cole, and it's okay for me to do this because it's public record. She actually goes around to state legislatures trying to convince state legislatures not to pass bills like this one that we're hearing here tonight. Chloe Cole, an 18-year-old activist, you see it, I believe it was at 12 years old, and again, this is her public testimony. At 12 years old, she began questioning her identity. Not uncommon for a 12-year-old to do. I mean, we don't have to do a show of hands, but how many of us at 12 years old or 13 years old or 10 years old, at one point, we questioned something about our identity? I know I did. For many years. You know, I look back at my childhood, my adolescence into adulthood. I remember, man, those were tough times. It is a tough thing to go from being a child to an adult. And it's so important for us to have loving parents during that transition. But Chloe Cole, at 12 years old, was really struggling with this. And at 13 years old, I believe it was, her parents brought her to a clinic. And she said, they were scared and desperate for answers when she told them that she thought she was a boy. and that their decision to sign off on transitioning her was forced under extreme duress. The gender clinic presented, this is what Cole said, the gender clinic presented my parents with the classic false dichotomy of, would you rather have a dead daughter or a living son? I got to tell you, me hearing that, I would be filled with fear. Well, no, I don't want to have a dead daughter. And so that's what the parents were told. And so they began putting their daughter at the expertise of the clinic that she should be on hormone therapy. And so they started her on hormone therapy, putting her on puberty blockers and testosterone at just 13 years old. And she testifies that she had unbearable side effects. At 16 years old, or I'm sorry, at 15 years old, fast forward 2 years later, those puberty blockers and that testosterone was not enough. She made the decision to have her breasts removed. And I don't know about on this house floor, but I know some people that right now would tell me, yeah, good. She should. It's her body. Should be her decision. Well, here's the problem. At 16 years old, she realized she had made a grave mistake. And she had discovered her real identity. See, she had this realization, and I'll quote someone much wiser than I, and he's probably not real popular here, but he said this: he who made them in the beginning made them male and female. Those are the words of Jesus. And Chloe Cole came to this realization that I'm a female, I'm a woman, I'm not a boy. You can read about her story, it's all over the internet. And now today, she can't go back on that decision. What's done is done. In fact, now she's tormented with thoughts of, if I can have a child, which she doesn't know if she can because of the puberty blockers and the hormone therapy. It may have sterilized her. She's not sure. But if she does ever have her own child, she'll never be able to breastfeed that child. And again, we have a bill before us that is an act relating to children. And I believe it's absolutely critical for us to shut the door right here. Because in the state of Minnesota, you can already legally get gender-affirming care. You can. So I do believe it's absolutely critical and life-saving for us to shut the door on this legislation right here, right now, tonight, members. See, love does protect. You know, I've heard from the other side of the aisle a lot. I've heard this statistic, this fact that the human brain doesn't even finish developing until right around the age of 25 or 26. And yet we're, with legislation, opening a door here that is not good. We're talking about children. I want to protect children. because children can become adults and change their mind, as in the case of Chloe Cole, who wasn't even an adult yet, and she had this realization. We need to protect our kids tonight. We truly do. We do need to love our kids, and we need to protect them from doing irreversible damage to themselves. Please vote no on HF 146. Thank you.